everyone, Clacka The Geek here. Welcome back to the Clacka Chronicles, episode 42, The Meaning of Life. I actually watched The Meaning of Life film for the first time the other week. Not as good as the Holy Grail and Life of Brian, but I still thought it was excellent. Anyway, today we're going to be reviewing the penultimate episode of Doctor Who, Flux, Series 13, Survivors of the Flux, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. So yeah, overall, I mean, I know you usually start with like categories, but I think I should just address why I wasn't as fussed on this episode personally, and that's just because I didn't click with with what a lot was going on, because there was quite a lot going on. There was obviously the Doctor's subplot, which we'll get onto. There was the main kind of. There wasn't really like a main plot. I couldn't really tell you what the main plot of the episode was, but there were lots of different plots going on concurrently, and there was obviously Yaz, Dan, and Jericho, which was probably my favourite bit of the episode. Their scenes. There was the Grand Serpent, and infiltrating all the unit stuff. There was stuff about the Division, and there was the Joseph Williamson 1820 guy coming back for a bit, and then at the end, and there was the whole Swarm stuff with Vinda and Bell and like there was just a lot going on, and there was a lot of it that I just didn't really click with, if I'm honest. So I guess we should start with kind of the Doctor's plotline, even though it wasn't really the main focus of the episode. So the Doctor, the whole cliffhanger from Village Angels just gets undone in like the first minute. The Angel Doctor just kind of crumbles apart, and I'm just thinking, really? Is that the payoff you're giving from last week? Really? I just feel a bit let down by that, and we learn a bit more about like the Division and the old woman who she's with, who she saw like a vision of in a previous episode. That's Tecteun from last series. Cool. The Timeless Child stuff gets brought up again. There was an Ood there. He was awesome, but yeah, I didn't fully click with that stuff, and it was just I don't know. It just kind of, I didn't really feel a lot to that stuff. Now let's talk about the kind of, I guess this is kind of the main plot of the thing, which was Yaz, Dan, and Jericho. They got sent back in time last week to 1901, and they've lived there for 3 years now, and they're kind of going on like little expeditions trying to find out, what this imminent battle, and like when's it going to happen, what's going to happen. And I loved that stuff. I thought it was really good. I loved the expedition kind of Indiana Jones kind of vibe to it. I loved that. They all have a great dynamic. Jericho is just fab, and I love the fact that he's here again. Yaz and Dan have brilliant dynamics, and I love how Yaz is kind of trying to, this kind of reliance on the Doctor. I'm liking this kind of character that we've seen. I'm liking this, and Dan is just brilliant. He's funny. He's sweet. He's just, I mean, I can't say anything but bad things against Dan. I'm loving Dan at the minute, and I thought their stuff was really good. And when that subplot was on, I was invested again. And also their subplots, like I loved it. The adventure kind of thing. They were on like I think it was the Titanic, which was in 1904 now apparently. Trying to work that one out, but yeah, the Flux probably affected that. And they're in Nepal, and that was quite funny. Jan and Jericho grew beards as well, which was also quite funny. And they ended up in Liverpool, and they met the Joseph Williamson 1820 guy, who everybody's like, he's just pointless. Hopefully he's actually going to do something now, because it looks like he's going to be useful, but please say that he is, because, I hope he actually will be useful, though, in the finale. There was also the plot line of the Grand Serpent, his name was. We saw him in Once Upon a Time, and he was here, and he was like infiltrating UNIT through the years, and it was nice seeing some UNIT callbacks. There was the scene in 1967, and I picked up on a couple of little UNIT references. There was a reference to the War Machines, that was really cool. But I love the little references that we got, and it was cool. But I don't know, there was something quite kind of off about it. I wasn't fully sure about it, but there was also the return of Kate Stewart as well, and it was just nice to see her again. It was just like, seeing an old friend that you've not seen in a while. I think it was nice to include her. But then there's the whole stuff with Vinda and the Lupari and the Swarm, and I just wasn't as invested. I just wasn't. It was that was something that was thrown at the screen that I just didn't click with. It didn't stick for me, and I just wasn't. I wasn't fussed on it, and because that's how the episode is structured. It's like the Halloween Apocalypse. It's a lot of things going on, and there's bound to be things that don't stick, and that's why I'm not fussed on both this and Halloween Apocalypse. But at least Halloween Apocalypse was more entertaining. This wasn't really. This wasn't that as entertaining, I don't think, and that's why I wasn't as fussed on it. Obviously, visuals, direction, cinematography, all of that was lovely. Yes, and then the final 5 minutes kind of happened, and that is kind of what elevates this episode a bit for me from what I was feeling like. Oh, this is a bit of a dud. The final 5 minutes did elevate it to be like, no, this is not bad. This isn't bad, because those final 5 minutes when Swarm meets the Doctor and Tecteon, the Sontarans and the Lupari meet, and they're gonna have a massive showdown above Earth. And the whole, the final battle is it's the end game pretty much. I was getting so excited and so pumped, and I just, those final 5 minutes really did elevate this episode from what would have been a 5 out of 10 to a 6. So yeah, just a 6 isn't a bad episode. It's not a bad episode, but for me overall, this was the weakest of Flux so far. And obviously, this could change on a rewatch. I may think of it better, I may think of it worse, but as I'm standing, I just didn't really gel with this episode. I felt there was too much on the screen, not enough sticked, and it wasn't as entertaining as previous outings. So, but I am really looking forward to the finale. It does look really cool. I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't want the finale to just go completely pants. I don't want it to be absolute pants. Hopefully it won't, but there is always that feeling in the back of your mind, but it could be a bit naff. I'm hoping it isn't. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on this episode? I've seen a lot of people have said they've really liked this one already. Are you one of those people? Did you not like it? Were you not as fussed on it like me? What's your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments below, and you may sway me into liking it, if maybe, I don't know. Be sure to like and subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a thing, and this is Clacka The Geek, signing out. Goodbye, everyone.